Hey, it's April 26th and it's a something day of Vita. I apologize, you're gonna have to see my gross shoulder today. The sunburn that I had that was really bad is starting to peel, mostly on this shoulder since that was the worst, a little bit on this shoulder. It just really hurts, so I'm rolling up my sleeve. I've had it down all day. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my video response yesterday to the whole an open letter to YouTube. It's just my view on things. You may or may not agree with me, but those are just my opinions. You may or may not take them into consideration. I hope you do. Not everything on YouTube is bad, but all of it's not great either. Like, it's not the best it could be, not the worst it could be. So that's just my view on it. I'm not going to get into that again. So I watched Kaylee Hyde's video yesterday, you know, I'll Say Hoot. She was talking about how she wants to see more intellectual stuff on YouTube. Not necessarily, like, super intellectual, but, like, you know, more creative stuff, more new stuff. So, I decided that instead of doing a regular vlog today like I normally do, it'll be more of a informative vlog. I just feel a little inspired by this whole thing going on, this whole mini YouTube uprising. So I thought I would tell y'all a little something about Texas and sports. Okay, so you see, sports aren't a bad thing. I don't think sports are a bad thing. They're great programs and, you know, they help people stay active, they provide entertainment. They're good things, but it just bugs me how in the majority of Texas, they take priority over everything else, even education, which is a little ridiculous if you ask me. I'm sure maybe this way in other states too, but I just noticed this since I live in Texas. So, you know, there are all these budgets going on in every state, and they're going on in Texas too. The economy here isn't as bad as other places, but I mean, you know, we're still being effective, and we're having to do these budget cuts. My school district is laying off a lot of teachers next year, and I'm gathering some of this knowledge from this whole education project. I did AP English earlier this year. It really shed some light on a lot of things for me. I mean, stuff that I already knew, but like shed more light on everything that's going on. So I know here in my school district, there are certain teachers who are only allowed to stay because they're also coaches. It's happened in my school where the teachers have been approached and said that they will be fired unless they coach something, and vice versa. The coach will be allowed if they teach. And honestly, just to make a general statement, this isn't always the case, but most of the time, coaches are bad teachers. I'm sorry, there are some coaches that I've liked as teachers, but that doesn't mean that they're good teachers. The majority of them have been bad, and I haven't gotten much from their classes at all, or I've failed them. I noticed that coaches either make the classes hard and they're horrible at teaching it, or they're really easy and you don't learn anything, but it's simple to pass the class. Right now I'm in the simple to pass the class, and I'm not really gaining much out of it. It's a little ridiculous in my opinion how they're letting the teachers stay that usually aren't good teachers, but because they coach something. I mean, I guess this saves them money in the sense that they don't have to hire separate teachers and coaches, but I mean, if you're only letting a bad teacher stay because they are coaching something, there's something wrong with that. Another thing that bugs me is that they're rebuilding my school right now, and so pretty much I'm walking across a construction site campus. Of course, they did all of this after they built a huge stadium. We had a stadium before. I mean, it wasn't the best stadium, but it certainly wasn't falling apart. It wasn't a danger. Of course, you know, they spent all this money that they don't have building the stadium. It's a little ridiculous if you ask me. I mean, they should have been, instead of working the whole summer on the stadium, they should have been working on the school. Shouldn't they be renovating our school and getting us the new calculators, improving our computers, because our computers are outdated. I mean, they're not horrible as some schools. They're the first edition of Windows XP, which isn't a bad operating system, I mean, but our computers are so slow and they're getting outdated quick. The money they used on the stadium could have gone to better things in my opinion. Same all with the budget cuts, filling off all these teachers. They're cutting the fine arts, like art, theater, music. They're cutting that so much, and sports, they're being cut, but not nearly as much as music is being cut. What they're doing at middle schools, they're only having, I know for choir, just because I'm a choir student, middle schools, they're only having half a day at choir, at least at one of the middle schools, and then the other half of the day, the teachers are going to have to go to the elementary school and teach half of the day there. But these kids aren't getting as much music. It has been proven that music helps create more well-rounded people, and usually people who do music are better students and get better educations because the way that they learn, and the way they learn from doing music and learning about it. I mean, I'm not saying one's more important than the other. I mean, I can see how they're important to both people. Music is especially important to me. I'm just going off of what I've seen, and often stereotypes are true, not always, the vast majority of the sports kids in my school are very stupid. And the sports budget that we have, I guess sports does bring in money and stuff like that, but I mean, we can still have a good sports team without spending all this money on stuff that we don't need, and firing all these music teachers to lower the music education that these students get. I mean, at least cut the budgets evenly so it'll be equal, but they're not. They're cutting music so much more than they're cutting sports. And this is definitely going to affect future students. I'm a firm believer in save the arts, because arts are such a big part of people's lives. And once again, I'm saying sports aren't a bad thing. They don't suck. I'm not against sports. Sports are great. I suck at sports personally, but they're an awesome thing, and they help rally school spirit. They help keep people active and fit. It's a great way to bring the community together. I'm not saying that sports are bad, but I do think it's ridiculous how they take priority over education. If you have any experiences about your school, just feel free to tell me about them, because I don't know what it's like in other states. I know what it's like here. Yeah, so if you know anything like a different state, I mean, is the education system different there? Do sports take priority over there? Or is it education, or is it arts, or what is it? Because I know in Texas it's a little ridiculous. Okay, now that I'm off the whole tangent, I got Sony Vegas 10 Platinum. I'm so excited, but I'm also having a problem. For some reason, when I'm importing clips, the audio isn't coming in with it. I mean, like, it shows audio track, but it's just like all flatline, and I don't know why this is happening, and I just bought this and I really don't want to have to return it and go back to Windows Movie Maker, because I really don't like Windows Movie Maker. So if you know anything about that, please tell me, message me something. I don't care what you do, but if you know a solution to that, please let me know. Okay, happy April and happy vlogging.